Season 3, Episode 1 of the Producers Podcast. Tall Paul Joseph looking very sharp.
Thank you.
With your shape.
You like my Clint Eastwood look?
You know, I do.
Okay.
Good look for you.
Thank you. Go ahead. Make me day. Punk.
Not everyone can pull off the sunglasses look, Paul.
Thank you.
But you've got the right face for it. You know, chiseled.
Yeah.
But yet manly.
Okay. I like it.
Fresh, yet aggressive. I don't know. There's a bunch
the whole thing.
Long story longer, you look good.
Okay.
It's a disaster.
As you like to say, it's no trip to the beach.
No. What I say is I'm no trip to Hollywood.
That's
now, which means, you know, this, you know, you're looking at this mug, you don't got a lot going for you, but
do you want to use my glasses?
But what I realize when you say it's no trip to Hollywood,
yeah.
Hollywood is not what it used to be. It's a lot of not being a trip to Hollywood may be a good thing in this day.
Yeah, these days you might be better off being a trip to Kmart or something. I don't know. It's
better than Hollywood.
Anything. Yeah. What in the world have you been up to? Let me show you what I've been up to first, and then I want to hear all about. Yeah. This is my life.
Yeah.
Can you read that?
Is it time for the annual members meeting of your homeowners association?
Never go.
You know, it's funny. I'm part of a homeowners association where I live, and I do the same thing. Look, you guys get in there, you complain, and you raise a ruckus. Just don't screw up the neighborhood.
Just don't do that, and leave me out of it. Send me an email once a year telling me what's been changed.
Right. So that you've basically filed that in the circular file, have you?
I hit the basket. I did well.
No surprise. You've been working out with your son, and you guys play a lot of basketball in the backyard.
Every day we play. We have a standing date every day basketball, so it's fun.
Well, you know, I've been busy too.
What have you been doing?
You know, during the pandemic.
Really?
Which is, I think it's over now. Just I'm not sure if it is or isn't. It seems like it is, but
I got my second shot today.
Congratulations. Now you might get a little bit of a side effect. A little what? Maybe a little side effect. You might get one. Whoa. You're not exactly sure what it will be, but you have side effects. That's all.
Okay.
But that said,
okay.
But I've been continuing my walking because I think it's important for get outside. Don't stay indoors. Make sure you get the exercise. But Paul, I've been I've upped my game.
How so?
Well, the area that I live in, if you just walk around the neighborhood, it's just houses and people. But if you walk down the hill, it's a geology trip.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. And you might not know this because you don't know everything about me, but
that's true.
When I went to college, I majored in radio and television, which we've seen how that's turned out to be.
Yeah, you could have maybe turned left instead of right, but go ahead.
Yeah, ill-advised major college, but I minored in geology. I took about 12 to 16 hours of geology classes.
You?
Yeah, I like it.
You were interested in geology and the formation of rocks. And...
Well, here's what we like. We like formation of rocks. We like plate tectonics, how the world is together and how
they shift and cause earthquakes.
I like volcanoes, earthquakes, any of the earth sciences. You know, do it for me. So I thought what I'd share it with you because you know you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Here's a good picture from my neighborhood. And what you can see here is these rocks were obviously laid down. They're sedimentary because we're by the ocean. Mm-hmm. So as you can tell, they were laid down, but there's been some sort of upheaval. There's been some kind of thrusting. There's been some kind of motion that makes those rocks look like that.
Yeah.
And especially the part I like is how it's shearing off. You see, and there's a lot of rock slides in our area, but this I think is, am I losing you?
Mm-hmm. What? No, I'm here. Go ahead.
Right.
I'm with you. You said something about.
Well, the formations of, here's what I would say.
Yeah.
Usually sediments are laid down horizontally. They don't, they don't normally look like this. So they're, hello. All right.
All right. Well, geology.
Right. So I went on my geology trip and I absolutely love them. And if I could just get myself out of here, we'll
How
stop
fun.
the share. So
The best thing about geology is when you get a little cutie to go with you and they wear the short shorts all rolled up with the boots, the hiking
Oh,
boots. That's a good look.
that's a good look. That's a good look.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
And
mind that.
just one more, because I know you love it.
Okay.
This is another shot of this, pretty much the same.
Jack, that's the same shot. Though.
Well, no,
You turned the picture the other way.
this is totally.
That's the exact same shot.
No, this is 100% different. This is a little bit further down the hill. You can see how the rocks are tumbling down. They're shearing off that face, and that's what we call erosion, Paul.
Okay.
Erosion is called by a variety of things: gravity, rain, etc. So
we have the same thing in this type of stuff that we do. It's called erosion of ratings.
Oh,
because you make people turn us off.
Well, then no more geology talk. But I do recommend everybody. Well, two things: A, get off your tuchus, your butt, and get out there and walk.
That's a good idea.
And then B.
By the way, you look good. You look thinner. I can see. No,
I lost about.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Well, you still got a little bit of the tummy, because I do enjoy a beer every once in a while.
Yeah, and the olive drop at 4:30.
When the olives drop at 3:30, that can put a couple pounds on. But
you can.
But the second part, real fast before we move on, I do recommend everybody find like a little hobby, whether it's journaling, whether it's geology walks, whether it's basketball like you like to do.
Right.
You can't just do the same crap every day. I think the one thing that the COVID has shown us, that this repetitive activity can be a little dull.
Wow. I mean, it's feeling good just to get outside a little bit, and to get away from this. So it's, starting to get back to normal slowly.
Okay. So you can make fun of me about my geology trip, but it's actually healthy for me.
But it is healthy. I'm proud of you. I think it's good if you actually, I'd like to see you on some of those rocks.
I stay at the base of them, and believe me, you got to get ready, because if those things tumble off that hillside, you better be ready to move. You got to move fast, be agile.
Yeah, that's good. I like it.
Well, speaking of ratings disasters,
yes. Where do you want to start?
Did you see the Oscars, Paul?
Oh, thank God. Here's my trick. I DVR it, so that I can speed through it, because that, may I say, even sped up, was the most boring thing I have ever watched. And I sped through everything. And they allowed the people to talk as long as they wanted to.
Right. No walk-off music, which they need that back.
You need the playoff music. Get them out of there. You need, I don't know what they were doing. They were telling you kind of what you're supposed to like about a movie instead of showing you the movie. I didn't see any clips of movies.
Very little production value. And I don't mean to interrupt, but why not?
No.
Everybody's trying to find fault with this damn thing.
Yeah.
And look, it evidently it had the lowest ratings ever, even underneath some of the really low rated ones hosted by comedians who will take two, who will remain nameless.
Like Jimmy Kimmel.
Like guys like that.
Yeah. Okay. So it went from 23.5 million last year to like 11 million this year. And I mean,
I don't even think it made the 10 million mark.
Oh, maybe it didn't. That's what I heard.
But Paul, here's the things I liked about it, which I know it's easy to slam it. I love the set that they built at the train station.
That was beautiful.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I also like the lack of the comedians, air quotes, but replaced with the various celebrities who were doing, they do one or two different awards. So it was like, what's her name? Now here we go with the names.
Laura Dern or people.
Laura Dern was good. Wait, she was her for a little bit.
Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Like that.
Tons.
Halle Berry.
Yes.
Everyone had a couple different ones, and I thought that was cool.
That was nice.
And then you're right. They could have done. They didn't show many of the picture and video of it, or they didn't show any of the songs. But now here's a question I have for you. Did you see many of the movies that came out in 2020? No. Or were you inspired to see any of the movies by watching the Oscars? Either one.
No and no.
Really?
Honestly, I didn't see those movies that won. I hadn't even seen them because we haven't been going to the movie theater. And normally I would have seen all of them. And number two, they left me, from the woman that did the Wolf Like a Wolf.
Well, that would be the Frances McDormand.
Yeah, that really turned me off.
Well, she's a whack job.
Yeah,
and I don't like to talk bad about people on the podcast, but
yeah.
In Nomadland, which I didn't see, but I do want to see it.
You do?
Well, yeah, I figure if it's the best picture, it's got to have something. But she's a little whacked out.
Yeah. And the one my son was excited about was Soul. He said that animated Soul was like one of the best pictures. That's what he heard, and he saw a little of it, and he really liked it.
Yeah. That one for best music and everything like that. And, well, sorry, here we go, real quick. The best picture was Nomadland.
Right.
I hear it's slow and a little creepy because she's slow and creepy.
I know.
But she won it won for best picture. The director, Chloe Zhao, the Asian woman who made a major statement in a year where Asian Americans were getting a bad rap by some people.
Yeah.
They know who they are. She won for best directing. Now, Anthony Hopkins, who in my opinion, you could put that guy in a Ziegfeld Follies movie and he'd still win an award.
He's love
that
him.
good.
Yeah.
So he won for The Father, which I did not see also.
No, it's another one I missed.
Well, evidently it's about, an ailing parent who's going through dementia. So a lot of these movies don't really motivate you to get to the theater or just to watch it on home video or streaming services. The actor in a supporting role was Daniel Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah, which is, I would definitely want to see that.
Yeah.
You do know, I've mentioned it before. I love the Black perspective movies.
Right.
They're fresh for me and they're different. And it's not another romantic comedy starring Hugh Grant. So anything in that genre I'm in. The actress in the supporting role, I'm probably not going to say it right. Yu Jung Youn, or whatever her name is, Minari, but that was the one with Brad Pitt. Did you see that? There was a little dust.
I loved it.
Yeah. It's like there was something that had happened between her and Brad Pitt. Like, who messes with Brad Pitt?
I know. It's just like, she was saying like, you should have called me or something.
Right.
You should have been in my movie, and
don't be dissing Brad Pitt.
I mean, they take license with him because he's there, but let's face it. He's Billy Bean. To me, he's Moneyball. Billy Bean. Yeah. I love that movie.
Well, it's a great movie and he's a great actor, and don't be messing with that. Animated feature was Soul. Was that a Pixar movie?
It looked like I don't want to say yes. I'm not positive. It looked like a Pixar. The way
it has that, Paul, how do they do that? They make it look so realistic. And even though they're animated, it's a hell of a movie. And
all those graphics. It's amazing. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing what they do.
And then here is the problem with the Oscars. The middle part, the animated short film, the cinematography, the costume design, the documentary feature, the documentary short subject, the film. You should clear that stuff ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then
clear it out.
And make it, at the end, best actor, best actress, best picture, and then maybe do something else in the middle. A couple music.
You know what they should do? You've got it. You hit on it. They do those four that you mentioned. Yeah. Then they do the moratorium, because everybody wants to see that.
That's always.
But they even screwed that up this year. I mean, did you see it?
I think I was taking a potty break. What was happening there?
You were better off. So they put it to a fast-paced Stevie Wonder song.
Right.
And somebody came up with the idea to be cute and say, let's keep the pictures on the beat. So as the song was going, dun, 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 they're going with the pictures. So you can't see who the person is you're trying to see. And then all of a sudden it slows down. So then some people are getting these long pictures, and those other people that are already passed away, you couldn't even see. I mean, it was the stupidest thing I have ever seen.
Well, as we've talked about before on the Producers Podcast, because Tall Paul Joseph, Jack Silver, we in our career have produced radio shows, television shows, podcasts, sports.
And let me just throw it out there before you say what you're going to say. Oscars, you are one more bad show away from being finished. Hire the team, get us in there, let us fix it for you.
Oh,
because we will.
You and me?
Yes.
Well, I like that. If you pull that rabbit out of your butt.
Well, I'm working on it.
No, what I was going to say was, we talked about it in the production meeting. Someone says, does anybody have any new ideas for the in memoriam segment? Oh, Paul?
Yes. How about this? Let's play a song that's too fast and doesn't really have a feeling for the whole dead people passed away thing.
Yeah.
Let's do that. And then let's keep pace with it. And as the beats go faster, the pictures go faster. And when they slow down, the pictures slow down. And maybe at the end, if you don't scratch me on this one, the last picture should kind of melt as the song ends down.
I see. Yeah. Paul,
what do you think?
Can I see you in my office? And don't bring your headphones because
I got it.
Just keep walking. I'd like to see my office, but but Paul, that was a dumb idea.
Please,
we're not going to
do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
And to you out there watching, if you didn't see it, grab the moratorium. You can get it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And watch how silly this thing was and how they destroyed what's supposed to be kind of a tender moment. Yeah. But it's also, let's be honest, a very enjoyable moment from the standpoint of everybody goes, oh, I didn't know he passed away. Right. I didn't know she left us.
Or I remember that person. And
yeah, and it's a big deal. And they ruined it.
They ruined it. Well, look, I guess the only saving grace, and if we had a good video editor, we'd go to the tape.
But do you know the dance though? Do you know how to do the butt? Quest, turn up. Come on, let's see it. Let me see you do the butt. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Glenn Close doing that dance, the butt dance.
Shaking her
butt.
I like that.
I liked it. And here's what I liked about even just the whole setting. You know how the Golden Globes, they do that at the Beverly Wilshire or wherever they do it, or whatever they do it. And it looks more like a party.
Right.
This thing reminded me a little more intimate, little party oriented. Now there was a couple of snafus and people weren't really up to snuff.
Right.
But when you get Glenn Close to do the butt,
I mean, that was a home run.
That's a home run.
That was my favorite part of the whole thing.
Of the Oscars?
Yeah, it was this. I'll give it to you now.
Okay.
And you tell me who it was.
I've got nothing but time on my hands.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get it.
We'll fix it in post.
I put together some notes.
Oh, was that Joaquin Phoenix? No. Was that
some notes together, and it's the studio. You know, the picture is dark.
No.
Were the people that did this all on drugs?
Right.
Every screening gets worse.
Right. Who was that?
It was Harrison Ford.
Oh no, Harrison Ford.
Bro. That's my favorite moment of the entire thing.
Now
it was just, and then he goes, and this turned out to be Blade Runner, which was a great movie. And
my only part about him, well, two things. A, he's not a very good airplane pilot. He seems to drop the plane out of the sky quite often.
No, yeah.
And I couldn't follow what he was saying, but I guess what you're saying he was saying was that the notes that are given to actors and directors usually are a bunch of BS.
Well,
because even the best movie, it gets slammed in the early stages. Is that what he was trying to say?
No, what he was saying is he was giving the award for best film editing. And what he was saying is he walked into his own movie to see it because they do pre-screenings and give their notes. And he sat there and took notes about how horrible the movie was in all these categories and how everybody must have been on drugs and da-da-da-da-da. And he just tore the movie apart. And then it turned out to be Blade Runner, which was a great movie. So he was saying that those were his notes on his own movie as he watched it. And
see, that's where they need some kind of subtitles, because I'm not smart enough to get what.
Well, it was rough. You had to really listen to get it. But again, while you're looking at Memorial, get that too.
Get that one too. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, listen, I wish him nothing but the best. I know it's been a tough year for Hollywood. The theaters are closing down. But I'm going to go back and try to watch. Let me see. I'm going to want to watch that Nomadland. Yeah. I want to watch The Father.
Yeah.
And then the Judas and the Black Messiah. And then there's something else called
Soul. I want to see Soul.
Right, so let's go see that. So
Soul, Father,
Soul, Father, Black Bottom, and the Black Messiah. Let's do that. All right. Well, we need to kind of wrap things up. It's a big sports week, Paul.
Yeah, it is a big sports week,
which is cool. And believe me, one of the best things that have come out of the COVID as we're coming out of the tunnel is the return of live sporting events, people at Dodger games, people at Laker games, people at different sporting events. The Kentucky Derby is this Saturday, first Saturday in May. There'll be, hopefully a ton of fans there. And also this week is the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Now, you and I both love the NFL. We love us some pro football. My feeling about the draft, and it's pretty simple. For those of you that don't know much about it, the worst teams get to pick first because they try to get them to be better for the future. So you've got Jacksonville, the Jets, the 49ers, the Falcons, and the Bengals.
Bottom feeders.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, and Jamar Chase, do I want to start my career with one of the 5 worst teams in the league?
No, because those teams are synonymous for destroying quarterbacks that were good and come into the draft and come into the league. You don't. Look what the Jets did to the last quarterback. I mean, it's terrible. They beat these guys up, get them all broken up, ruined, and they don't go anywhere.
Because I think the real key, Paul, is that especially football.
Yeah.
One player, whether it's one of the top quarterback, Trevor Lawrence from Clemson, if he's surrounded with a bunch of crap on the Jacksonville Jaguars, a bad offensive line,
right?
You've got some good receivers, but it's the only job where you get selected to come to work for them and you have no other choices.
Right.
Now, Eli Manning back in the day, he dissed the Chargers and went to New York. But generally speaking, all these kids getting drafted this week are all going to have to go to the teams that pick them, whether they like it or not.
What's their option? Can they sit out and they can just sit out?
I think they can sit out, but I think it's to the point where, look, if you're a top pick, top 5 pick, you're going to make a lot of money and your future could be pretty bright. But like Sam Darnold or like Blake Bortles for the Jacksonville Jaguars, or like Jimmy Garoppolo at the 49ers,
right,
or like Joe Burrow at Cincinnati, it's cool to go to those teams and to be an NFL player. But when you start the games, you look around, you're on your butt half the time. You're getting sacked like a mother effer. I just don't get it.
Every one of those guys you mentioned, excuse me, major injuries because no offensive line. Right. They have to scramble, and that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Joe Burrow out the whole season, just about.
Exactly.
Every one of them. Sam Darnold just coming back. I mean, these guys have been hit, beat up. By the time they get to their next team, they're not the same player, and that's the point.
That's a great point.
Just sit out, keep working out, and then next year go to a team where you'll have some, protection and actually show off your wares before they put literally 5 to 7 years of mileage on you your first year because they start you as a rookie now. So
right. Well, they figure they picked you. But guys like, for example, Aaron Rodgers and others who sat for a couple of years probably benefited over time. But, wouldn't you rather be picked by Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Buffalo, Green Bay, New Orleans, which are the last picks of the first round?
Yep.
And make no mistake, just because you're a top 10 pick doesn't mean you're going to pan out.
It doesn't.
Have you ever heard of Jamarcus Russell? Yeah. So take it easy with that crap. Patrick Mahomes was 15th. Tom Brady, I think, was 199th when he was selected out of Michigan. So all I want to say about the NFL draft, it's good television. It's good for these sports guys, sports talk radio to talk about it. But it's really the silliest damn thing because I feel bad for some of these kids having to go to these crappy teams.
I do too.
I'd rather be somebody who slides down the board, goes to Pittsburgh or Tennessee, or the teams I just mentioned, Baltimore, New Orleans, Green Bay, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay.
But some of that, too, are the greedy agents because they set them up because they're just looking for the big payday.
Yeah.
And they want to get them in there. They don't really care where they go. If they can get their deal monetarily, they're happy.
Oh, yeah.
And then they leave that guy there with no protection,
right. And sometimes the city doesn't even fit them. I know there's a player, and I forgot who it was. I think he was a wide receiver for the Bengals, and said, I was dying in Cincinnati. He goes, I hated it. The team sucked. He didn't like the city, I believe. I forget who it was. But I can see how that would happen. Some cities marry up to your lifestyle better.
Right.
and some don't.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So,
Well, so that's
follow Phil Jackson's method when he was coaching the Lakers. He sat Kobe for the first 2 years, and Kobe watched and became a better player watching, and got put on weight and muscled up.
And he got to live. We got to be with the Los Angeles Lakers.
There you go.
You know, if you get picked by the, I don't know who sucks in the NBA these days, but it must be terrible to be on the Orlando Magic. You're like, oh, good grief. You know, and they're making great money, but at some point it is about the ring.
Yeah.
Now, quickly before we go,
yes,
you might be asking the Kentucky Derby.
Yes, I was asking that.
Who do you like? All right. So the top 5 horses in the Kentucky Derby are Essential Quality, which is a Brad Cox horse. I know you might not know the trainer, but what you want to look at in horses are the trainer and the jockey, and then the history. I think this Essential Quality has won 6 races in a row. That's usually pretty good. Then you got Rock Your World. Then you've got Hot Rod Charlie, which is a Doug O'Neill horse. Doug O'Neill, and wasn't that your nickname in college, Paul?
Yes, it was.
Yes. And Doug O'Neill, who
just call me the Big O.
I like it. Known Agenda. And then my boy, Bob Baffert, has a horse called Medina Spirit with John Velasquez as the jockey. It's the fastest 2 minutes in sports. It's a great thing. And I've had a chance to be at the Kentucky Derby twice in Louisville at Churchill Downs. It lives up to the hype.
It does.
You know how sometimes you go to a place and they go, you got to go to Kentucky Derby. Or you got to go to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you go,
why?
It's kind of a big hole in the ground. It's not really all that impressive, but cool.
Yeah.
The Derby is cool because there's 150,000 people there. You're drinking mint juleps. And, and the women are all dressed up with their hats. And then there's a horse race.
I loved it. I went one time.
So I'll pick the Baffert horse. I'll say Medina Spirit might win. But
okay, I'm going with Rock Your World because I don't pick the favorite. So I go with Rock Your World.
Cool. Well, we'll see how that goes. Well, listen, good catching up.
Good catching up.
It's the Producers Podcast with Paul Joseph, Jack Silver. You put your sunglasses on. I'm going to get some sort of a haircut at some point, and we'll regroup next time.
That sounds good.